Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, great millstone, and honors and salutations to you, Akim, out there that's laboring in this truth and sincerity without wavering. And this video right here, we're gonna call it so-called UFO sightings continue. But why? Because by now it's not a, definitely not a secret, that about these chariots, which we know them to be the chariots of the Lord. Actually, the spirit, I caught the video Apostle Ramlov did the other day, which was heavy, for him to be able to catch it on video like that with the chariot that was by the moon and everything. And it's crazy because where I was at, I couldn't see that part of the moon. I only was able to see like a little bit of the bottom because where I was at, I was a little further north. It was clouds or whatever was covering most of the moon, but I seen it clear as day in the video that the apostle had did. And those are signs of the time, and see, these things are happening so often, but a lot of people don't really know what's going on. And see, and this is part of the prophecy, and those so-called UFOs are the chariots of the Lord. All right, and when you read in the Holy Scriptures in the Bible, that's how we're gonna be delivered up. We're gonna be beamed up in the so-called tractor beam, as it's called, But that's in the Scriptures too. But I'm gonna start with I'm gonna read this part right here, this article real quick, and then I'm gonna just hit the Scriptures on it. But see, there's a reason why that these so-called UFO sightings are happening, and they're increasing more and more constantly. You're seeing more people that are seeing these things, and they're just but to the point where people think that it's normal. It's a normal thing, and it's nothing normal about these sightings. It's nothing normal because these sightings weren't happening like this, years ago, 30, 40, 50. I mean, there was always sightings, but not to where it's just been multiplied to where they, everybody's seeing them. So, but this one which was dope about this sighting. This was from I think a couple weeks ago, but this just was published from I don't know the name of the paper, but it says Massachusetts couple report orb-like object in men in black along street outside. So that was the thing that got me, because a lot of times you hear about the chariot sightings. Sometimes you might hear about fighter jets following where the chariots were, but this time you actually had the so-called men in black. They popped up. So I'm gonna just read a little bit of this. It said a Massachusetts witness at Boston reported a bright orb-like object moving upward in the sky, followed by strange men in black at 2:30 a.m. on December 6, 2022, according to a testimony from the National UFO Reporting Center. Right? It said the reporting witnesses relating the case for his sister and her boyfriend. The couple 2 weeks early. So in other words, he called. This is something that his sister and her boyfriend told him that they encountered. It said the couple 2 weeks earlier had been surfing the internet and watching videos about astronauts seeing UFOs, which that's true too. The astronauts they've been seeing them, and they seen, not just having they seen the chariots or the so-called UFOs, they seen the angels that are inside them, and they gave accounts which link up to what the Scriptures say about them being dark-skinned men, all right, that are operating these vehicles. So it says, in plane pilots encountering UFOs. It said a couple on this night stepped outside because the boyfriend wanted to smoke a cigarette. They were looking up at the moon, and that's heavy, see? They were looking up at the moon, just like the other day where the Spirit had, I believe it was Bishop Ayatun, had sent out the message about the chariot that was just sitting there hanging out, hovering over the moon. So the same thing, they was looking up at the moon and talking about how the astronauts in the video they watched weeks ago really have no reason to lie about UFO sighting. Exactly, what do you get out of it? And how crazy it must have been for them. So within less than 5 seconds of talking about that out loud, they were peering up in the sky and saw an orb-like bright light that was so bright the light illuminated their faces as if in the presence of fireworks. So that's how bright, man, these things ain't no joke, man. It said the witnesses said that the object was going upward in the sky, not in a completely straight path, but was swerving a little and going upwards. There were a few spark-like elements coming from the bottom of the craft, and the craft itself was visible for about 3 seconds before it completely disappeared. And Esau, with all the DARPA and all these robotic dogs and drones, and they ain't got that technology. They can't make something disappear and reappear. All right? They don't have that technology, and that's why you can't, like a chariot, you know what the chariots are, they can't be duplicated. Yeah, they got Project Bluebeam and holograms, and but you know there's a difference. See, they could go in and out of this atmosphere, into the fourth dimension, out of the fourth, it could just disappear, reappear, because that's the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So it said the craft was completely silent and appeared pretty close, way too close to be a plane or some type of shooting star. They thought it could have been a comet, but also too close to be that. Or a meteor landed on Earth, but it was traveling upward and also disappeared. See? The witness sisters said the size of it was, let me jump down to this other point. It said after about 2 minutes of being outside the second time, a black sedan SUV pulled up across the street, seemingly out of nowhere with absolutely no sounds. A man in all black came out and opened the trunk of the SUV, turned around and began to stare at them. Now, I don't know if they were approached. They could have been, right? But it said the couple could tell he was dressed in black but couldn't make out his face. Within seconds of this, she and her boyfriend noticed 2 other men in black standing at the end of the street, one house down from where they lived, kind of swaying back and forth as if they were trying to make out who or what they were. It seemed as if they were more intrigued by seeing my sister and her boyfriend. My sister described them as wearing all black attire and couldn't see their faces, their skin color, despite being only one house down from where they were standing. The witness said that these men were all blurred out and did not have distinct facial features, you know. And pretty much, you know, Esau, the men in black has been exposed. They made it like a comedic movie or whatever, but that's the Secret Service, and that's Esau trying to sweep this under the rug. But now the reason for it is because why? Esau know, it's not that they don't know about these images, or I mean these chariots, but they know what the prophecy says. And even they definitely know now because we out here prophesying, bringing it out. All right, and there's tons of scriptures in the Bible that speak about the so-called UFO, which are the chariots of the Lord that is coming back to deliver us out of this hell. Lord willing, would be of that number, the hopeful elect, right? So this is Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1. It says, then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll, just like what they witness that they seen. All right, and this is the prophet Zechariah, Israelite. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof of 10 cubits. Because these chariots get huge. All right, and you can go look up, if you want to get the actual breakdown, go look up the cubit lengths and everything. And that was just what he guesstimated about. It was a huge chariot, and it's shaped like a roll, round. All right, that's why they call flying. Sometimes you hear them say flying saucers or whatever, and which is heavy. Which the Spirit Apostle Tar said. He said, look, he said it's possible that with the salvation, it could just be one big chariot, because that's how big the chariots are. You know, especially the fathership, you will, the so-called mothership as they call it, but really we're gonna call it the fathership, the ship that Yahweh Shai comes. Remember, Yahweh Shai is coming back in a chariot, right? And it tells you in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. Maybe I'll get the one in Revelations, but that's going to be the largest, the biggest chariot. But now, like the Apostle Tar said, those chariots can fit planets, worlds in it. You know what I'm saying? Cities or whatever. So he said the elect could be very well be all on the same chariot. You know, so I mean that's stuff we got to wait to see. But you think about it, it's heavy because it's not impossible. You know, because these chariots are huge. But anyway, verse 3, it said, then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. So that's why Esau doesn't want to push and promote this too crazy, because he know that the purpose of these chariots are going to come when Yahweh Shai come. Their purpose is going to be to destroy America right before the nuclear missiles touch this place, you see? And when they see these these different vehicles, it reminds them of how much short time that they have left. That's why right now Esau's going crazy, you see? But I'm going to read it again. Verse 3. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth, excuse me, that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stilleth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side. And John 10:10 tells you about the thief. That's who this devil is. He done stole the whole earth. All right? He done stole people's land, stole people's identity. He done stole souls, man. This damn devil. So it says, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. Who's that speaking about? That's speaking about the so-called white man. Where's his house? Well, America, but this whole earth, because Job 9:24 said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, meaning the rulership. So the Lord is coming back to destroy these devils, man. And that's what we read in when we go into Matthew's the 24th chapter, right? I'll start Matthew's 24 in verse 27. It says, for as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be, meaning Yahweh Shai. He's coming back from the to the east unto the west. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. All right, carcasses like dead bodies and stuff. And remember, the Lord said He preparing a big supper for the birds of the field and everything, with all the dead bodies that's going to sprinkle all over the world, and primarily here in America, because America, death is going to reign throughout America, man, and America's going to be on fire until the fire consumes America, man. Burns it all the way down to the fucking ground, like it says in the scriptures, in Malachi, right? Other parts of the scriptures going to be a wasteland, man. But it said, for wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, which we know a lot of that's going to happen from the blocking of the sun and the stars, sun and the moon, sun, moon, and stars, however you want to say it, from the what do you call it, the cloud of smoke from the nuclear missiles, the mushroom clouds, right? So it said, and the stars of heaven shall fall, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Yeah, the nuclear missiles going to shake. When it said the power of the heavens, meaning the other nations, the rulerships, they're going to be shaken up through these nuclear missiles. And then also the chariots, because the scriptures tell you that when you go further in second, I think Ezra's the 13th chapter, tells you how they're going to be shooting fire from these chariots, from these ships. It says, then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then, the sign, which is what? Those so-called UFOs, those chariots, man. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming. And they give you a visual of it in that, what is it, War of the Worlds? With, what was that damn, was it Tom Cruise, I think, is in it, or whatever, right? So they show you how it's sort of, they give you a glimpse, not Men in Black, Independence Day, ID4. They show you how, like, the heavens is going to be taken over by these so-called UFOs and these chariots. And that's why there's constantly different footage. Well, there's even footage now, but what do you talk? Sightings. A whole lot of sightings that are happening. You see? It says, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven. They ain't talking about no regular clouds where you get precipitation and all that. Speaking about the chariots, all right? And that's why the Lord said in Revelation 1 and 7. Right, if I'm gonna just get that real quick. Revelations 1. It's like I said, it's tons of scriptures that go into this, man. Like, a lot of people are bugged out. They think we just be saying shit, making shit up. But nah, this is what the scriptures say. Revelations 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds. That's what we just read in Matthew the 24th chapter. When the Lord come back, he's coming with those chariots, man. And they coming back to destroy shit. They're going to tear shit up. That's why the Lord said America's going to be a great big wine press, man. He's going to stomp, like as you stomp out the grapes. That's how the Lord is going to be killing everybody in America that's not of the elect, man. It's about the elect of Israel that's only going to make it out of here. All right? And this ain't just us, like, trying to fearmonger. This is prophecy. This is stuff that's actually about to go down. And the proof is everybody's seeing it. Why you think they had the men in the black right away? Like they said, a few minutes. You know, and Esau monitors all these sites. They take, even if they might not be true sightings, they take them all serious, man. They constantly setting up different, they got all kind of telescopes. They got different type of sightings for people to report when they see these things. Because why? They know that the Lord is coming back to destroy their ass, man. So they trying to think that they're going to be ready or they're going to stop him. But it ain't going to happen. It said, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. When Yahushua cracked the clouds, man, when he cracked the heavens, man. It said, and they also which pierced him. Yeah, them Roman guards, the same. They back in the reincarnation. That's showing you reincarnation right there. And all kindreds of the earth shall well because of him, even so Amen. And that's just what we was reading in Matthew's 24 and 30. It says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So really, the chariots, the so-called UFOs, those so-called UFOs that they keep showing, that's the angels, and that's how we gonna be delivered. They gonna be sent to fight and protect us, man. Because why? This devil is turning shit up, man, because you know that he has a short time. So that's why they've been talking about, they finished with the trials with the Neuralink. They got that digital all together. You got so much stuff happening to where they're taking over everything, man. The control of everything, and you're gonna have to bow down to them to be down with them, or to continue to live your life or whatever. You know, you're gonna have to take that charagma, all right? And if you take it, you're gonna die. You see what I'm saying? See, now we gonna go in the spirit, man, because one, we already dead. And if it's like we say all the time, if it's our time to go, we know the Lord is gonna raise us back up. You see, but through faith, that's how we gonna make it up out of here. We ain't gonna sell out. We ain't gonna, sit there and get weak and fall off and fuck it. Let me just go get that dart, or not even the dart, that seed thing up. Nah, we ain't gonna do all of that, man. All right, but the majority of our people are. Majority of our people that's still left alive, that's not of the elect, they're gonna do it, and then that's when it's gonna be, curtains for them, man. But anyway, that was the main point. I just wanted to, I seen that article, and it stood out too, because for the men in black to pull up on a block looking, like what the fuck, and they got caught out here by just random people, and it's to the point where they can't. Before, they used to be able to suppress a lot of these things. That's why they had to declassify all of the military records, because it was just tons of records of so-called UFO sightings, which are the chariots of the Lord. So now we know why that they keep coming, because why? We in a time where the Lord is coming back, all right? Yahushua is coming back, man, and Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua for that, and, pray that the Lord keep us in the fight and take not his spirit from us and allow us to behold his coming, man, because, that's what matters, man. That's what it's all about. Nothing else don't matter, man. At the end of the day, that's the answers to everything, all our prayers and everything. So, you should be waiting for that. And while you waiting, continue to occupy. All right, but with that, I'm going to say, Kal Halal, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, Barakathum, Shalom to you, sincere Akim, Shalom.